Good morning. Welcome to Lovebabz, Lovetalk. I'm Babz Rawls. Yes, the wheels keep turning. So today I am one of the 100th people to talk to Gormand Bechard about the New Haven Documentary Film Festival that kicks off Friday?
Tomorrow. Yes.
Hey, Gormand.
How are you?
How are you?
Great.
Well, okay, let me get my pizza beef out the way first.
Go for it.
Okay, so about a year ago, you posted up something about asking people about their favorite pizza or something. And I chimed in with Delana's.
Oh.
And you smacked me down. And I didn't know you then.
Okay.
So you smacked me down. And I was like, can't people with dairy allergies get some pizza love?
Well, I think then if you have a dairy allergy, I think the place to go is Sally's. Any of the three, but get the plain pie.
But if I want some cheese.
But that's not real cheese.
It is. It's cheese.
And my wife uses it, and it's not.
Come on, Gormand. Let me buy you some pizza at Delana's.
I've had it 3 times.
The vegan pizza with the cheese.
No, because that's not pizza to me. I only eat plain pizza.
See, this is my beef with you.
Yeah.
This is my real beef.
I'm sorry.
I could make you a believer if you come and have pizza with me.
Trust me.
And have a slice.
Because if I pick up the piece like this and it falls off, it's not pizza anymore now.
It's not gonna fall off.
Oh, it will. I had a pizza there, a plain cheese pizza there. It all slided off. I have video.
Mine didn't slide off. I eat there all the time.
Did you fold it?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I fold it.
I want the piece.
I
don't want my pizza to need Viagra.
Oh, see, you are a snob.
Oh, I am the biggest snob you will ever meet for pizza.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's like, do you know how some people like believe in God? I believe in the Holy Trinity of Sally's, Pepe's, and Modern. That is my religion.
Listen, I grew up. I used to work in Hamden. I used to go to Bamonte's. Remember Bamonte?
Oh, I remember it well. I live in Hamden.
I thought that pizza was the best pizza on the planet. When I could eat cheese. No.
It's like the thought. If I couldn't eat cheese anymore, I definitely have cholesterol problems, probably because I eat too much of it. So I limit it. But if I couldn't eat cheese anymore, I would just move to Key West. There's no reason to be here anymore. I'm just going. I'm gonna go where it never snows. The weather's beautiful, and I'm gonna sit out, by my little swimming pool every day and just like.
So this New Haven Documentary Festival, it has become a major player in the documentary world. Like everywhere I go, people are buzzing about. Last year, I know people were buzzing, but this year,
it's kind of crazy.
People are off the chain. I feel like is there a red carpet? Like, what is happening?
No, I think it's, I think, one, we've gotten we have amazing films this year. And I always say we have something for everybody, but this year it's even more so. We have over 110 films.
Oh, man.
And we have Michael Moore, who really love him or hate him, he's one of the most important people in the history of documentary. He's sort of like the Steven Spielberg of documentaries.
Yeah.
Because he made documentaries popular. He was the first person to have a documentary to gross $100 million at the box office, which is, a good documentary at the box office is a couple $1 million. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And he's smart.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Not a dummy.
No.
He's smart. I follow him on Twitter, and he gets it in, boy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some people might find him a little too liberal for their taste, but...
Not me.
I don't... Same here.
Not me.
But to those people, I say, then
he's my
change
soulmate.
the channel,
I'm feeling like he's my soulmate. So when you started this film, how long is this thing?
This is the 6th year we've been doing
Whoa.
it. Yeah.
So was this the imagination you wanted? Like, is this the pinnacle that you wanted to hit? And when you started this thing, what was your thinking? Like, I want this to be big, or do you just like, you know what? I really like documentaries. I need them to have a home.
Well, the very first festival was just 4 films of 4 filmmakers who met in Missoula, Montana at another film festival and came back here and played their films. And then we said, let's do it for 4 days. That we had fun. And then it somehow grew into 11 days, you know, with my partner in the festival, Charles Musser, doing he's the one who brings in the celebrities, the tributes. And it just kept growing and growing. And in my head, I started thinking, there is no really other big festival in Connecticut, and this could become a destination festival. And that's sort of what I wanted, to where, like, not only would we be playing tons of local films and as many, you know, local film from as many local filmmakers as we could, we would also bring in really cool filmmakers from the rest of the country, and even in a few cases from, you know, outside the country.
Mm-hmm.
And with, especially with the majority of the screenings being free, it would really not only like open up documentary to the area, it would help, I think, a lot of filmmakers who don't normally get, you know, a great audience to find an audience, you know.
And what is it about the documentary style of filmmaking that you like?
I think Hollywood, the Hollywood fiction filmmaking style has become, it's just the same crap over and over again, and it's
like
just
big guns, big sound.
It's just a rehash, and it's very rare nowadays, I think, to find a good small fiction film that feels real.
Mm-hmm.
Documentaries feel real because
they are real.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like you're not watching someone, you know, read from a script. You're watching someone tell you their life story, their heartbreak, their tragedy, or in many respects, the fun parts of their lives, whatever it may be. I mean, you know, we have one of my favorite films this year is called Circus of Books. And the way I would pitch it to you is, so what do you do if you find out your very sweet Jewish parents just happen to own the largest gay porn bookstore in Los Angeles? You become a filmmaker and you make a movie about them. And I love this movie. It's funny, it's charming, it's a little heartbreaking. It's a beautiful story about you know, the freedom of press, you know, and the entire gay movement really in Los Angeles.
Oh,
it is a beautiful film.
Yeah. So now, is this film that you made, is this your first documentary? No,
this is 5, 6. I think my 7th that I've finished, and I've got. I've made too many. It's funny. I have to go online when people say, "Name me all your films." I don't remember them at this point. It's 16 that are finished.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and I've got 3 more that are.
I knew there was a bunch, but I knew it was 16.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 1983. Back when you were probably like just boring, you know.
Look, it's just coming out of college. Wow. So you like the realness of making documentaries?
Yes.
Can really Hollywood lure you?
No, I've been there. I did a lot of writing for Hollywood, and I even had made a film there, and it just was not for me.
Not for you.
No, it's filmmaking by committee. It's a little too much filmmaking by committee. I have issues with like an accountant giving me script notes.
So you want to do your own thing your own way.
Basically.
So who's out there doing the work that you like?
Wow.
Because there's a lot of there's a lot of documentaries. I read through all the ones that are coming, and I've been checking off the ones that I want to see, right? Because there's some heavy hitters that I want to see. Whew. I don't know if I could tolerate them because some of them are a little heavier than I.
There are 3. I'm sure you're talking about the 3 movies on policing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a heavy subject.
Gosh.
So if it gets too heavy, you go into the other screening room, and there's probably something light.
Yes.
So.
So who are you liking these days?
Well, I mean, I do think Amy Berg, who we actually had at the festival last year, is one of our best.
What was her film?
Young film. Well, last year we had a little tribute to her, but I think her best film is the one she did on Janis Joplin. Okay. Which is absolutely spectacular. I really do. I obviously like Michael Moore. I really like Errol Morris. I think Errol Morris is one of the great documentary filmmakers, and we haven't had him yet, so maybe hopefully that's a future.
Are you wooing him?
Future get? Not yet. I mean, right now we just have to get through Michael Moore.
Okay, I know, right? I know he's like, I can't have bookends. I can't have 2 heavy hitters on each end.
Plenty of things to think about, right? And the next like 12 days for me are kind of long, so I'm not really thinking into the future beyond that, other than sleeping on Monday the 10th.
So who all helps you wrangle this thing? I know you said you had your partner. He's a Yale professor.
Yep, and it was Charlie who really. I had been pushing for Michael Moore for a long time, and I think the general consensus was, "You're nuts. He's never going to come here." And I think I finally said to Charlie, "Will you just ask?" And Charlie, in his wisdom, Charlie knew that Michael Moore was a huge fan of Peter Davis's Hearts and Minds, which is that amazing documentary on the Vietnam War. If you've never seen this film, it's possibly one of the greatest films ever made, period. Forget just documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big influence on Fahrenheit 9/11,
Okay.
the Moore film.
Okay.
Now, Charlie just happened to be an assistant editor just starting out in film, working on Hearts and Minds, so he knows Peter Davis. And he lured Michael by saying, what if we show Hearts and Minds, and you, Michael, can interview Peter about the film. Then we'll show your film, Fahrenheit 9/11, and Peter can interview you, which is a dream documentary night. And that's sort of
that's the night.
That's the first night. And then the next day we have D.A. Pennebaker, who's also friends and someone that Michael really admires. I mean, Pennebaker is 94 years old, and he's the godfather of documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be talking to Michael about all of his films that day and the next day as well, on Sunday.
So people who make documentaries, they don't care about awards. Do they care about awards?
I think they care about getting their film out there. So if an award will help, sure.
Okay.
But all three of those filmmakers are Oscar winners.
Mm-hmm. Now, does the New Haven Docs give out awards?
We do for the best new feature documentary and best short. And we have a student competition.
And so people vote on these?
They vote not on the student competition. We have a jury for that. But for the others, yes, there are ballots, and you fill out the ballot and drop it in a bucket. And then I spend a couple long days with a couple interns, volunteers, counting these things, going nuts, thinking, why do we have this damn award?
Because it helps get people's films out.
It does.
And if they put it out there,
and it's also a fun night. That's the last thing we do, the Sunday night, the 9th. And we show the film, the winning film, your people are coming to this not knowing what the film is going to be, and the winning short. But then the audience gets awards. We get all these things like Willoughby's will give us a nice coffee mug, and the Elm City Bike Tour will give us, or the pizza tour will give us 2 tickets to that. And we have bottles of wine. We have all these great gifts, and we raffle them off to the audience members for free.
Wow.
So we basically pay back our audience for coming to 11 days of documentaries.
So is it important to keep because there's no cover for this?
No.
It's free.
It's free. The only tickets are for the 2 shows at Cafe 9 because there's bands afterwards.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you're really paying you're paying them for the musicians. And we do have fast passes because sometimes the lines are nuts.
I heard.
Yeah.
And sometimes
you can't get in.
Can't get in.
So, but if you have a fast pass for $50, you get good seating you have priority seating for every film, and you get to go to our opening night reception.
Uh-huh.
If you get a Fast Pass Deluxe, which is $200, not only do you get all of that, you get to come to every filmmaker's party. There's one virtually every day, including this amazing tequila party.
I know. I'm coming to that one.
I knew that. That's where I saw that's the one I saw you responded to. I knew it. You were the first response.
Yeah.
It's like 4 seconds after I emailed
it. Tequila is my middle name.
Hey, okay. That's your mom was smart. That's a great middle name. And also, but that $200 also gets you a private a seat at the private Michael Moore brunch, of which only 80 people.
A brunch.
Will be at. It's a brunch, so you get really good food, and you get to hear Michael Moore talk over breakfast.
Thank God this town is a foodie town.
Oh, this town's great.
You could eat anything here, and everything, and world class.
Yeah, we have some for a town our size. Think about it. 130,000 people, give or take. We have some amazing restaurants, and we have the greatest pizza in the world.
How old were you when you discovered pizza here? Are you from New Haven?
No, I'm from Waterbury.
Okay.
So, I was dating a girl here when I was 19 or 18 or 20, somewhere around there. It's been a long time. And I discovered it then.
And you discovered
yeah. But then
the girl is gone, but the pizza's still here.
Well, actually, the funny thing is the girl is one of our best friends and was my wife's maid of honor.
Oh.
If you want to talk about...
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good. That says a lot about you.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes it's if you have a really good friend, the relationship doesn't work out, but the friendship does. Why throw that away.
Right.
It makes no sense.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, thank you.
That's its own documentary.
There are so many. That's the thing. It's like it's a running joke with me and my wife that everything is a documentary because and it's like one of those things where you can really like find a history of something in you if you are a good filmmaker who knows how to tell a story, you can make almost any history of something.
Now, does your wife say, this is not fodder for documentary stuff?
Sometimes, but not often. Not often. In fact, I would say she's one of the people who gives me most of my ideas.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because she'll be like, she's always sending me articles. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, the funny thing is, there was one story that I had been so following because I thought this is a great story, and it ends up being a documentary in one of our festival this year, and it's the one about how the NFL was completely, for lack of a better word, screwing over the cheerleaders.
Oh, yes.
And the New York Times ran all these pieces on it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a crazy story. To the point where, like, if you're a cheerleader and, like, you're sitting in a coffee shop, an NFL player from any team, even if it's someone you don't know and not even in your league, if he walks in, you have to leave as the cheerleader. That's nonsense.
Yeah, that is nonsense. And they don't even pay these women.
No, it's less than minimum wage.
Yes, and then they want you to maintain a weight and I was like, you know what? Is it worth it? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's, but I'm really glad that someone made a film.
Somebody made a film about it.
Yeah.
And then you can decide.
Yes.
If it's worth it or not.
We have a great film called $1 Billion Bully, which is on Yelp, and how if you don't advertise with Yelp, a lot of times your good reviews just drop down to the bottom. And
really?
Your bad reviews drop to the top.
Oh, they gangster like that?
And if you advertise, all of a sudden those bad reviews are gone. And the thing is, and knowing a number of people that own shops, they tell me exactly the same thing.
Man, is there anything sacred?
Not on the internet.
Oh, man. Now see, now that just made me feel some kind of way.
Oh no,
because people depend on those kind of they direct their steps based on where they go, what they do, what they eat.
At Yelp, always look into hidden reviews because that's where a lot of you'll find like the real reviews. Yeah.
Wow. I feel like you just told me there's no Santa Claus.
No, there's a Santa Claus. What are you talking about?
All right, so you got this festival going on for
11 days.
Is it always 11 days or does it expand itself?
It's been 11 days for 3 years now, I think.
And
maybe
so now are you thinking 12 days?
No.
Seriously?
I know 11 is more than enough.
Do you have a number of cutoff films that you can show? How many films? There's like 100 or something.
There's over 100, but the thing is, it would just become so unwielding. It's as it is now. It's like if I was to show, I have a monitor that I edit on, and it's like a 42-inch monitor. It's like this big. When I open the spreadsheet for all the films, I can't even see it all on that monitor. I still have to scroll and scroll.
So what is there a cutoff? Because I know people. It's a well-oiled machine. People are sending you there. You don't even have to go solicit anymore, right? People are sending you there.
I will solicit stuff from like this year. That's how we got a bunch of the great films. I went to the films that were at Sundance, at South by Southwest, at Tribeca, at Full Frame, and said, "Hey, filmmaker, your film looks really cool. Can I take a look at it for the festival?" And almost everybody said, "Sure, take a look at it." You know, but we don't start. I don't start accepting films until probably this year, probably be like late October or early November. But the cutoff is usually around May 1st, so we go pretty late.
Okay.
But the student cutoff, it was not until last week.
Ooh.
So because a lot of students are making their films as their year-end project.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to have a cutoff, don't you?
Well, you do, but it's. I would say most of the festival.
Your cutoff is time, it's not number, because you could have 5,000 people submitting.
Yes.
you can't take all 5,000.
No. So but the thing is, I don't take everything. I only take the best.
Okay.
There are a lot of. I sent out many hundreds of. We thank you for sending us your film, but it just doesn't fit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
A Dear John letter?
Kind of. It was funny. It was bothering me to send them out this year, and I'm like, this is a decent film, but it's just either it doesn't have a place on the festival because we already have something else like it, or I look at it and I go, this is a good film, but there aren't two people in New Haven that are going to want to see it.
Really?
And that, oh yeah, sometimes you got to think that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now does that run up against your artistry? Does that run up against your artist mind to sort of say no to another artist?
No, because in terms of running the festival, I feel more like I'm a business manager here, where I'm trying to make a festival that is successful and that we get fannies in the seats, but in the same respect also has an ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you look, you'll always see you'll see a heavy film in one room and opposite it something fun and light. You know, the $1 Billion Bully is opposite the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You know, and this amazing film about women who are on the front line of poachers of like endangered species in Africa. A great movie called Breaking the Silence next Monday night is opposite against a movie called You Don't Know Me, which makes the claim that horrible film Showgirls from 20 years ago.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah. This documentary makes the claim that it really is a masterpiece.
That film?
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe it takes you 20 years to sort of recognize that.
It dissects this film in ways, and I'm sitting there, I put it on thinking, okay, it's not going to play. And 20 minutes in, I am sucked into this film, and I'm thinking, oh great, now I have to watch Showgirls again, you know. And
oh God,
yeah, it's beautifully done.
Really?
Yeah, it's just fun.
Did you go and watch Showgirls again?
I didn't. No, I didn't. No. I had too many films to watch. You know.
So now, have you watched every film that came your way that's in the festival? Have you seen every last one of them?
I have,
barring the student ones,
except the student ones, because I don't judge the student competition. So I figure I'll let the judges deal with that, and I just go by the ratings. So I will see the student films that day when they screen.
That's a lot of films.
It's a lot of films.
How do you have time?
I don't sleep.
Seriously?
No, I really don't sleep. I went to bed last night around 1 a.m. I got up at 5.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm really.
And it had tequila. I'm
yeah.
like, oh.
So what's your middle name? How can you not? You know, I think I'm gonna change my middle name to Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah.
You should. What's
or Beats.
What's your favorite pizza?
I have a favorite at all three places.
Okay.
And Pepe's, it's the clam. I mean, that really is just something that's out of this world, but it's heavy. You can't eat it all the time. I go for a clam like every couple of months, and I'm very satisfied. Sally's, it's that plain, which is just their sauce, their crust, a little grated Romano right on top. Amazing. At Modern, Small Moots, just, you know, they have the best cheese, and it's, you know, I'm happy. Modern's one of our sponsors, and I don't know if the volunteers are happy about it, but we're having pizza almost every day, and it's like, yes.
I know you are in your.
It's
I don't
amazing.
know if your doctor is happy about that, but you're happy.
Yes, but I'll cleanse or something the week after. You know, no pizza. And cleansing for me means no pizza. You know.
Now,
so
have the three seen the film? Have they seen it before everybody else?
Do you
share it?
We had works in progress screenings, and Bill from Modern and most of his family have seen it. And I remember he was crying at the first screening, which was like heartbreaking and touching for me. His daughters were crying with the second screening. The guys from Sally's, the two brothers, Ricky and Bobby, both saw it, loved it. I don't think Gary's seen it yet from Pepe's.
Because they're a legend.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really is. It's not only a love story about pizza. It's a love story to it's a love story to these three restaurants, and it tells their love story because they're all couples. You know, it was, you know, Frank Pepe and Filomeno, Sally and Flo, and Bill and Mary. And there are these three couples that basically have changed the face of pizza in the United States.
Yes, because there's no place I go. When I say New Haven, people say, oh my God, do you know Sally's Pizza? Do you know Modern? I mean, everybody has people squarely know the ones that they dig, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm like, whoa, no matter where I go in the world. I was in Paris and people were like, somebody said to me, do you know New Haven? Do you know, I was like, yes, I do. I know pizza, right? Yes. So that's a big deal. And this film is probably going to do well, make them feel more legendary than they already do.
Well, it really tells how they got their starts and what they went through and what the city went through. There's a huge section on urban
because they're
renewal.
Immigrants, right? I mean, their
Frank,
parents,
Frank Pepe and his wife definitely are.
Okay.
Salvador from Sally's and Flo, Salvador was Frank Pepe's nephew.
Yes.
And well, Bill and I'm sure Bill and Mary. Bill's wife might have been born in Italy. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. She has a beautiful Italian accent.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. I know they appreciate you, so you probably have free pizza at all 3 places for the rest of your life.
I don't. I don't take advantage of it.
I would.
But they treat me well. I don't. They treat me very well, and I love their pies.
I know you eat other places than pizza.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What do you like here?
For a new restaurant, South Bay, by the people who own.
People are talking about that place.
People who own Harvest.
Yes.
I love.
It's a seafood place, isn't it?
No, it's pretty much like Harvest with just a bit of a French flair, but
really?
They still have that ridiculous Brussels sprout salad. And I love Harvest. I do. Harvest.
I like Harvest too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I think they swanked it out when they bought it or rented it or whatever they did, and changed the dynamic of it a little bit, the footprint of it. I like it.
Yeah,
it's a very romantic place.
Those are two. In fact, I said to my wife, "I'm not going to see you now for 11 nights. Let's go for dinner tonight." And she said, "South Bay," and I said, "Oh yeah." So
I've got to get over there.
Yeah, it's really good.
I gotta see. People are talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know they were there." So somebody were like, "Oh, you got to go to South Bay." I was like, "What? Where is that?" So it was, right there.
One place I love, which is not in here. It's the funny thing is, I'm vegetarian.
Are you?
Yeah, and it is a wing, basically a barbecue wing place, a little divey place on Main Street in Middletown called B&B Wings. But her husband is a meat eater. The wife is a vegan. She makes vegan chicken wings, which are to die for.
Really?
Yeah, like.
Oh, but you'll eat vegan chicken wings, but you won't eat vegan cheese?
Yeah. No, sorry. Cheese is just not being done right.
Gormand, I'm gonna have to convert. I'm gonna figure out some kind of way.
We got to do it some other restaurant. I really don't like their crust. I don't like. I don't like their sauce.
I go there and they make me a special thing. I have a thing that I like, and
in fact, they know I dislike them so much. Recently, they did something, literally a hashtag said "Don't be a Gormand." And the thing I think they thought they were insulting me. It was like I was gonna go get a T-shirt made. I loved it, and it's and it's it's like
I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna tag that.
It's all just personal taste,
Yes. No, you can't like everything.
No,
right? I mean, there's something. But this is the beauty of this town.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Because everybody there are people who are like, I prefer modern over everything.
Oh yeah. And in the end of our film, we literally have people who would back the film, and they get to choose were they Team Modern, Team Sally's, or Team Pepe's.
And people take that stuff very seriously.
Oh, it's like Boston Red Sox and the Yankees.
Yes.
But this is important. That's just baseball. This is about pizza. There's not many subjects more important than this.
Yes. Yes. So do you have many women in this documentary film fest?
Yes.
Oh my God! Are you conscious of that when you start this?
I honestly sometimes don't even know who the filmmaker is when I watch the film. I just click on I start watching the film, and I would say we have more than 50% female filmmakers.
Really?
Oh, by far and away.
You never hear about women in film. I mean, you hear, but not the same way that you hear.
And most of the films I've been talking to you about, the one Breaking Your Silence about the women who with the poachers. That's a female filmmaker. The NFL cheerleader movie, female filmmaker. $1 Billion Bully about Yelp, female filmmaker. The one about the Circus of Books, her Jewish parents, female filmmaker. It's really, really. When I stopped and actually looked, because someone said it to me, it's like, wow, you have a lot of women filmmakers, and it was just like, I had not even noticed, because I really do just go by what are the great films.
And so do you think about diversity at all in terms of ethnicity and race?
Usually in terms of what we're trying to program.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's weird. Sometimes, some years you get a lot of stuff. Some years you have to go. Last year, having made so many music docs, I couldn't find a music doc.
Wow.
It was like we literally did not have a music doc show. This year, I had more than I knew what to do, and I had to turn them down.
Wow. That's funny, isn't it?
So I think it all goes in waves. Like this year, we have 3 movies on policing, And think about it. It was about 3 years ago that we were really starting to see the things in the news about, cops shooting unarmed black people,
kids, yes.
so forth. And that's, it's give those stories like 2 or 3 years, and
they'll come up.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple of years we'll see more politically inclined films. Well, I think all documentaries have some political undertone.
I think you're right, and I think everyone always says, "Well, my film is not biased." My argument to that is the minute you make a first cut, you've now put your own take on the film.
Yeah,
because
that's a good point, Gormand.
Unless you're showing me the footage from start to finish with no editing, then okay, it's unbiased. But the minute you decide to cut something that someone's saying and put something else there, you are now putting your own spin.
Yeah, because you're doing that. Like you are
Right.
legit doing that.
Yep.
So I always think documentaries have some political slant or story to tell to get people to think a certain kind of way. Not necessarily make you feel good, not necessarily make you feel bad, but just to get you to sort of see something and ponder something, discern something, contemplate something that you ordinarily wouldn't be in your radar.
Absolutely. I think the best documentaries, you walk away from them thinking.
Yes.
And even if it hasn't changed your mind, it at least has opened your eyes to another side.
Well, that's how I felt when I was at the environmental. I was a jurist for the Environmental Film Festival last year, and I had no idea about environmental films. Like I was like, and the stuff that I saw freaked me out so much that I didn't even. It was like I was in a whole other world, paying attention to the plights of people who are fighting against environmental injustice.
Right.
And big business and big pharma and all these things. And I was like, whoa, people are up against, indigenous peoples trying to fight back against dams and all this other kind of stuff. I was like, whoa.
It's a great way to, and especially if it's done with a good filmmaker, because you can take any heavy story and you still need to make it somewhat entertaining, because you've got to bring someone along for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to expose someone to a story they might not have ever seen.
Yes, I think you're right. So now, are you already thinking about next year?
No. Well,
really?
Maybe a little.
Seriously. Now, is there a theme? Like, does a theme shake out?
No.
Early?
Not really. I mean, because it's too many. If we were only doing it for a weekend, maybe there would have been a theme. But there's too many films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, all the venues, are they grateful to have the films there?
They better be. No, I'm just. No.
You've got some interesting places you're showing these films.
We honestly, it's like, State House reached out to us.
Which is a great. You've been in that space?
Yeah,
I love this space.
Cafe 9, we did a second night with this year. We expanded our showings at the library. We expanded our showings at Yale. So I don't think anyone's unhappy with us. So
okay, that's good.
It gets people in. I mean, if you have a venue, you want people in the seats.
Now, so do you feel like the New Haven Docs is well received now?
Yes. Yeah.
So you feel like people are looking forward to it and they come out in numbers.
Yes, I think this year is going to be mind blowing.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're right. People are buzzing about this. Can I tell you how many emails I've got? Are you going? This. You got to see this. You got to see. And they're not from you. They're from other people who.
Yeah, I only invite you to things with tequila.
I know.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Are you going to this?" And I've been reading the lineup of the films, and I'm like, "Whoa."
Oh yeah, we have. I mean, there's just so much. Whether it be, and the thing is, there's something for everybody. Like if you're free during the day, you can see a movie at 11 at the library,
yes,
at 12 at the library, at 1:30, at 2:30, and at 4. So you got 5 choices there, and then you just like go eat something and then come over to Yale.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good idea. So what is the dream for the film festival? The doc. What's the dream?
To me, it's just to have a destination-worthy film festival here in New Haven. New Haven is a great town. It's easy to get to. It is halfway between 2 of the greatest cities in the world, Boston and New York.
Yep.
And we have, for a small town, an amazing amount of culture, an amazing amount of great food. And I think that this festival can also add to that culture and give people, people should come. We even have discount hotels, for if people want them.
Really?
They can come, stay here for 3 or 4 nights, see movies from 11 in the morning to 11 at night, experience some of the great food, experience this pizza that everyone's always talking about, and you know, it's a perfect little vacation if you're a film lover.
I think I think you've got this sandwiched in between the right time. After all the Yale hoopla graduations, everybody's graduations, and before the Arts and Ideas,
right?
Or you run smack up against the Arts and Ideas,
right?
So people get their fill of culture, like from one end to the next, and then you run right into the Arts and Ideas Festival.
Yeah, I mean, June here in New Haven
it's there's nothing like it.
No, and also well, not today, but normally the weather is beautiful, and
not yesterday.
Not yesterday, no. So that's all right. Let's skip the weather thing. You want to be inside watching stuff, so that's what we're doing. We're getting you out of the rainy weather. There you go. Let's
so now, do you spend your time going to film festivals?
Well, because of my films, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put your films in festivals.
Into the pizza movie is getting into everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah, we just got into a festival in Croatia.
Whoa.
And I'm thinking,
they've got good wine there,
Well, I'm thinking, do I want to go to Croatia? And
yes,
a friend of mine said it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Yes. I heard this about.
Yeah.
I mean, they battled back from being war torn.
Oh yeah.
But good wine in Croatia.
I'm game.
I can't. So I can't wait to hear that story when you come back. Don't move there though.
Okay. No.
And don't give them a film festival. That's like
they already have one, so they're okay.
So you're gonna go there. And then,
and we have others that I can't talk about yet because you can't announce them until they announce them.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Oh, they're like that.
But we played in Boston last month, and the reception was crazy. I'm worried, thinking, okay, how's it going to play in Boston? It's about New Haven pizza. People went nuts
because they know it.
They know it, and also, but the movie is also funny. I really tried to make this movie so that no matter where you are, you will enjoy this film because everyone loves pizza, whether it's what I consider good pizza or bad pizza. Everyone loves their pizza, and this film is just really about that love for that. I mean, so you will see this film and you will laugh because there's a lot of fun. Because I really make fun of us as well as being a little bit crazy about our pizza.
We are.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah. I mean,
I see the fights.
We're waiting 2 and 3 hours for pizza.
Oh, I know. And that has been for years.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I understand it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
And as a New Haven, I was like, no. You know what? Listen, go to a Bodies. Listen, there's good pizza in this town outside of the Trine.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a snob. Remember that?
you gotta give some upstarts some chances.
Oh, I tried them all.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. No. See, and like I said, you bring up Delania. I've been to Delania 3 times.
Okay, that's
tried it. The same pie 3 times.
Okay, that's a different thing.
I mean, there are a couple that I actually kind of like, but I don't. It's like if you want names, I'll give you names.
Okay, honorable mention.
Honorable mention. The 4th best pizza place in this entire area is Old World Pizza in Hamden.
Really?
Yeah, because it is beautifully
Where are they?
charred. It's a little building right before you get to Skiff Street on Whitney Avenue.
I know it.
Okay.
I know that. I've eaten there.
Yeah, I live around the corner, so I just take them right home.
Okay.
Their pizza is very much like the Holy Trinity. I actually think Next Door, which just opened on Humphrey Street,
they're getting good reviews. People are saying
was,
good things about that.
I thought that was very good. I think Brewport in Bridgeport, which is opened by an old guy who used to work at bar, is quite good. And they also have great beer. Roseland in Derby is an old school one. That I really like them.
Do you like bar?
Not anymore. I liked bar 20 years ago. I think it's kind of gone downhill.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't eaten here. I haven't eaten here in about since the early
yeah.
days.
And I don't, and it's like, yes, there's the mashed potato pie, but it's not pizza. It's like these crazy toppings. They're fine, but let's just call it flatbread with mashed potatoes. Let's not call it pizza.
Do you like the Greek pizza?
No, but the thick stuff. Oh, no.
Oh, no, okay, all right.
And it's like, don't even get me.
Because there are people who dig that, right?
Yeah, but they don't know what they're talking about. And don't get me on Chicago pizza or St. Louis pizza is the worst thing I've ever had in my life. I'm not a fan of
Chicago pizza.
Yeah.
It's like a casserole.
Yeah, that's it.
I was like, this is not pizza. And I'm like, it's not pizza.
What did John Stewart called it? A marinara casserole for rats.
Oh. Yeah, okay. All right.
I miss John Stewart.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm I'm gonna leave that right alone. So, all right. So you got this document. What's your next document? Can you? You're at liberty to talk about what you're working on next?
Yeah. We're finishing up 3 this summer. One is
3.
yeah. One is on
Holy cow.
a musician named Jay Bennett, who is in a very well-known alternate rock band called Wilco. But he was,
I know Wilco.
Okay, well, he was thrown out of Wilco after their 3 great records. And Wilco, of course, goes on to fame and fortune. He goes on to die because he can't afford health insurance, and he dies of a leaky fentanyl patch that he bought over the counter because he needed hip surgery, but he couldn't afford it.
Oh, that's a terrible story.
Yeah, it's a sad story about a musical genius who just left us way too early.
Oh.
But I love Wilco, and I loved his stuff in Wilco, so I sort of...
So you're not mad at Wilco for this?
You know, no, because I truly believe, having talked to all these people involved, that if Jeff, the singer from Wilco, and Jay had not split up, they probably would have both died because they were feeding each other's bad habits.
Okay.
And they needed to get away from each other. So I understand that.
All right.
More angry. The thing is, he did have health insurance. It was because it was a pre-existing condition. He couldn't get coverage. So that would be more anger at the health industry, the health insurance industry. But let's face it, there's plenty to be angry with. That's a whole other story.
Okay.
Another film is it's my second animal film. It's called Seniors, and it basically is a happy animal documentary about you never see dogs in cages. These dogs are happy, but they're all senior dogs, and I'm trying to show people how much life and how much intelligence a senior dog has. So when you go to the shelter or you go to the kennel and you want to bring a dog home, the puppies will get a home. Bring home that 7-year-old dog. You will make this dog, or I call it a person, they are to me. This dog will be your best friend for the rest of its life, and it is trained. It is mellow. You know its personality. Bring that dog home instead. Someone will take the puppy home.
Oh,
you know. So it's a very sweet movie in that respect. And then the other one is a very heavy movie that's been in the works for a long time because my editors keep quitting because I think it's just too depressing. And it is about this horrible case of LGBT bullying in Minnesota, where in one school district, over the course of, I believe, 15 months, 9 kids committed suicide.
Oh, God.
Because the school district was, of course, in the pocket of the religious right. And it was, they had a policy where it's like, if a teacher saw a kid being bullied for his sexual orientation or her sexual orientation, the teacher could not interfere.
Really?
Yes.
That's the policy?
That was the policy in that school district.
And nobody has brought case suit?
The Justice Department stepped in and took over the school department, and there was a huge civil liberties suit brought against them.
Man.
But things have still not really changed.
Man,
that's the problem.
That's painful. That is painful.
But when you look at some of the stuff that's happening with the religious right, and it's not just, it's whatever you want to call them, extreme conservatives,
crazy,
yeah, whatever,
and
it's
mean,
and look at what they're doing to
yeah.
LGBT rights, women's rights.
Yeah,
look at how they're screwing up the environment.
You know what I want to see? I want to see all women leave those states en masse. Just walk out. Just pack your bags.
I love that Netflix is actually taking a stance. I don't know if you saw that today.
No.
Oh yeah, Netflix said they're talking about pulling out all of their programming, because there's a lot of production in Georgia, and they're talking about pulling everything out.
Good.
And
I know people are against that, but listen, money screams.
Oh, it does. Look what it did in North Carolina with that HB2.
Yep, and got people and Georgia is not a state that's rich.
Yeah.
They need need the money, right?
In North Carolina, it's like they figured that because of the 6 or 8 months that was a law, that I think they lost something like $5 billion in tourism.
They can't take that.
Not for North Carolina, not a state like that.
No. So good. I want to see people march their money out of places because that's where the power is.
It really is. It's all about greed. And look, I'm a middle-aged white guy. I understand that. But it's like sometimes I'm embarrassed to be a middle-aged white guy because of the way that the middle-aged white guys are, what they're doing to this country. It's like, I wish I wasn't, it's like, and it really is just like an embarrassment. And it's like, I don't,
Yeah. But you know what? I believe it'll come to a head.
I hope it will.
And
next November.
Yes. But
please.
before that, I think people will start to feel like we this is not who we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is not what America means or is or has been.
Yeah, yeah.
And our greater days are ahead of us, and we cannot go back. I think people will start to feel that.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
So thank you, Gormand, for being here.
Oh my
today.
God! Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure talking to you.
Love talking with you. It's like we do it once a year, but it's like talking with an old friend.
I know. You have to come back more often, but I'll be here next year, hopefully, God willing.
And I'm going to bring you to Sally's and get you a pie with no cheese on it. That's going to blow your mind. And you're going to be like, I don't even miss the cheese. I guarantee it.
All right, that's a date.
All right.
Thank you so much. And so the New Haven Docs kicks off tomorrow
night,
and it runs for 11 days.
Correct.
And there's some damn good films, documentaries.
Yeah.
So go out there and see them. NewHavenDocs.
No, it's just NHDOCS.com.
NHDOCS.com.
That's it. Yep.
And go and check out these films, people. Thank you, Harry. I'm on my way out.